Hi Banggood and whoever this may concern there. This is my Galaxy Visitor 2 that I bought from you guys recently that I just got in the mail a couple days ago. And I'd mentioned that I have problems with my auto return system not functioning properly, and of course the onboard camera. It starts to record, it does the recording. When you go to play back the footage, the first couple seconds play fine, and then the picture just freezes. And then all you hear is the helicopter blades for the rest of it. And I have troubleshot this with other batteries too, just to see if maybe it's bad battery or whatever. Because I did buy some extra spare batteries with the quad, specifically designed for this quad. So that's not an issue there. I'm using the proper stuff. I've recalibrated the radio completely and reprogrammed it as per all instructions that you'll find in the manuals as well as on YouTube videos. To see if that's going to even do anything for my auto return system, and it's all failed. Everything was reprogrammed properly and perfectly, and it's still not operating. But I know you guys like to see this stuff for yourself to see what's going on, so we're going to fire this thing up and let you see. But I thought I'd bring my LiPo tester out with you so you can see that the battery right now is actually fully charged. 4.2 volts is where it should be, fully charged. And binding this exactly as per instructions, turning the radio on first and having the sensor point at the antenna. Plug in the battery. They say to let it sit for a few seconds, so we're going to let her sit for a few seconds. And we'll check to make sure everything's bound right. Okay, so we're good to go. So now we'll put the battery in. And as per the video's instructions on takeoff, so that your auto return pilot works properly, because they do say you do not even have to do any adjustments. That's optional for adjusting your amount of throttle back for the auto return. If it's windy outside, they say leave everything at factory defaults, which is what we're going to do. Because I've tried it, 16 ways to Sunday, and yeah, it doesn't matter which way. So we're pointing the radio now at the front sensor, as we were supposed to, for takeoff. Now the quad does fly. I have no issues with the fact that it flies. The high rates and dual rates do work fine. I am now going to press the button to record for video here, so it can start recording. Not going to do any kind of fancy flying, as I don't need to do that for this. Now they also say in the auto return function it does not matter what altitude you are at or what direction the quad is facing when you hit that auto return. So right now I'm going to stop the recording itself. Takes a couple seconds, they say. Okay, now what I'm going to do is the sensor is facing me. I'm going to press the auxiliary 1 button quickly first. And they say you're supposed to move your arms, and it does not want to respond to my commands. You move the remote in your arm, it does not respond. As soon as you hit your right hand stick for your banking or your forward and backward, it does disable the autopilot. So we're going to try this again and try twisting the remote and turning at the same time. So I'll activate it again. And it does not function. Let me just go get the quad. Now having it even at this level, I'm going to hit the auto return, and it goes away from me. it's coming back toward me here. So as you can see, it's a little twitchy. It doesn't really want to work. It'll start to try and come, but I think that's more the wind than anything pushing it. But it still wants to go and take off the other way. Now, according to the box, according to everything literature-wise in the manual and all the promotional videos, you know, I mean, this is supposed to be a safety feature with this autopilot too, so that if you get out of control, you know, and you're losing your orientation, whatever, then it should come back to you, which means but they also say the sensor needs to face it too at the same time. Well, how can the sensor face it if you're lost of orientation? So really, it's not even working as advertised. Now, every video I've seen shows the red sensor here facing the remote like that when they're doing the auto return demo. And I just did that myself, and as you see what happens, it doesn't want to do it. It gets really twitchy. It might try to come toward me, but then it takes off again, or it wants to just go somewhere else and land all by itself. It won't respond, you know. And like I said, everything's been properly all recalibrated for the radio. None of this programming is supposed to have to be done out of the box. They say it's all been done at the factory, so you don't do anything. And but if something does happen that you need to redo it, at least they have programming instructions to do it, and I followed those to a T. I've been watching these videos like programming it into my brain to do it as they show, and I've done everything exactly and precisely the way it's supposed to be, and it still hasn't improved anything. So part of this video will be the footage that I just recorded on the camera for you to see how it's doing the recording. But the last time I tried to record today, the camera hiccuped where it was playing back when I played it back, and then all of a sudden the screen freezes. You could hear the blades, but the picture didn't continue on, so something's going really whacked out as far as that goes. So I really don't know, you know, what you guys are thinking or whatever. Now I want to do one more quick flight for you to change the direction of the quad so that the sensor's not facing it and showing you exactly what it does too. So just so that you're aware, because it says you only have to have the sensor facing to set things up when you initially take off. So, and I'll do it the same way once again. Radio is facing the quad. So I'm going to spin the quad around so that it's actually facing me. So let's pull it back a bit here and hit the button. Now it's coming back toward me because it's facing me. Now, see, now it's not facing me. The wind is pushing this thing a little bit. There's a steady hover. My throttle's at 70% on the throttle. You can see 70%. Hit the button, and it's trying to go back. And that's how I try to move the remote, and it won't move. The quad will not respond. And it's supposed to respond no matter what direction the quad sits in. So I'm thinking something here is definitely defective. I have no idea what. Maybe it's the radio, maybe it's the quad, maybe it's both. You know, the camera just started acting up on me today for no apparent reason. So I don't have a clue what's going on with the camera yet. But that's what's going on. So let me know what you guys are going to do about this. I mean, you know, it's money to me right now that's being wasted. It's not fully functional the way it's supposed to be out of the box, You know, it's definitely not doing what it's supposed to do, even for the autopilot, which is not fully auto. And I do understand it's assisted auto, but the assisting part is you being able to move the remote right to left and so on to help assist bring the quad back to you. And as you saw, no obstacles whatsoever in my way, okay, because that's one thing they say is important, you know, and it wants to do its own thing, you know. So anyways, let me know. Thanks.